All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Steven Kreutzfeldt, and I'm a solutions engineer here with CDI. Today, I'm going to be taking you through an introduction to Laserfiche Mobile. We're going to start by going through how to set up the mobile app with Laserfiche. We'll then submit an expense report, and then we'll go through with an approval process as well. So first of all, where can I get the app? Well, it's available on the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, pretty much any place where you can download applications. If you were to just Google it, you would probably find it just fine. Just note that you will need to have Laserfiche Rio or an Avante license in order for this to work. But normally this is going to be available for most of our licensed users. So before using the app, also you want to ensure that the add-on for the web access has been installed on your web server. If you're not sure of this, I would talk to your IT group. Normally this is part of the standard application stack that's installed when you get Laserfiche. It'll look something like this in the start menu, Laserfiche mobile configuration. That will need to be installed. We'll also need to know the location of where that was installed in order to get this configured and set up. If you have questions about any of this, you can reach out to our team at sales@citiesdigital.com or consulting@citiesdigital.com, and we can probably work with you and help you track that down. It's a little bit tricky to get set up the first time, but the good news is it's pretty set and forget. So once you're on, you're good to go. Information you will need when logging in for the first time is the Laserfiche web server fully qualified domain name, or just the full name of the web server. Once again, if you're not sure what that is, I would talk to your IT team. You also need to Laserfiche repository name, so that'd be the actual name of your repository you want to log into, and if SSL is being used or not. That'll be a prompt. The way this will look when you first log in, you can see over here on the right-hand side that we've got the https://server name, that'd be the FQDN/mobile. If you're logging into cloud, that's going to be separate. If you do have a cloud account, then you'll need to know your username, password, and your cloud account number. And actually, for today's demo, I will be using the cloud account to be going through that. So let's go ahead and take a look here quick. I'm going to make other me presenter. Okay. So the Laserfiche app will look like this once you've downloaded it, just the regular orange L that I'm sure most of you are used to. So go ahead and click that open. Now, I'm already logged in. Maybe it would make sense to go ahead and sign out, so that way you can see that process of signing in. So as you can see, mine is asking for my account ID because I'm logged in to the cloud. If I wasn't in the cloud, then it would ask me for my mobile server URL. So that'd be the https://name of the server/mobile. You can also enable offline mode, but in my case, I want to sign into the cloud. And you'll see that mine is also prompting for a fingerprint. So we do have the ability to use a fingerprint that can be configured, which I'm going to go ahead and use. Now mine is set up so that when I first log in, it's going to display my folder structure. It's going to take me right into the repository so I can start browsing my different folders. And this is exactly the same as it would be on your desktop repository, or if you're using the web client, it's all exactly the same, including metadata and everything else. So I just clicked on my client folders. And so I could log into some of these. Maybe I want to find my client, my own name, Steven Kreutzfeldt, there at the bottom. And you'll see we have a couple of different documents in here. Just give it a second to catch up. So we've got like CV form, I-9. And one thing that I want to draw attention to is that if it's an Excel doc, then it's going to show up as an Excel doc. If it's a PDF, it'll show up as a PDF. Word docs, PowerPoints, CSVs, whatever the format is, they're all supported in the mobile app as well. So I want to go ahead and look at George Washington's I-9 document quick, just to show you how that displays. So that's kind of what the end user experience looks like. You'll notice that we have a couple of different options. If we wanted to edit the PDF, we could do that. It's going to download it locally, so I'm not actually going to do that right now. I'll cancel that. But we do have the ability to download or check out the document, edit it, and then re-upload it. So all the same features and functions that you would have in your regular web client, you also have here. You also have the ability down with the ellipses to open up these options to rename or edit it, change pages, print, anything else is all available right there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. Let's go ahead and look at our options again. So in the top left-hand corner, 3 horizontal lines, I'm going to push that. And that's going to open up all of my options. We're going to finish by looking at forms, but I want to just go down to the repository options very quickly. I don't know how often you guys are using starred documents, but that's a feature that I really like. So if there's a document that I'm working on editing or building out in Laserfiche, it helps to have that available. Usually for me, it's things like statements of work or client notes and things like that. So you have anything that you star in your regular repository is going to show up here as well. So in here, we can also see my PowerPoint presentations that I can work on those from my phone here as well, even though it's an iPhone. It'll also show your recent documents, your mobile uploads, and it also syncs with maps. So we can see our current location. We can start assigning maps of physical geographic locations associated with our documents as well. So if you do have a client who's in Columbia Heights and you want to assign a location for where this document's at, you can do that as well. There's some extra flexibility there. Similarly, we also have, we go back to our repository again, look at all files. You have your search fields here. You also have the ability to search by your different metadata template fields as well. So complex search capabilities, integration with barcodes. If we want to scan like a barcode or something, we can use that as well. So a lot of options here. But my favorite really is going to be the ability to submit and approve Laserfiche forms. I think that's a really powerful option. So up here, forms, so toward the top, we've got tasks, team tasks, and start process. I'm actually going to hit start process. And we've got the ability to go through all of our different, so like expense reimbursement down there underneath document requests. That's one we're going to be looking at today. Let's go ahead and open that up. So imagine you're a salesperson and you're on the road, and so you're accumulating expenses and you're dreading that day when you get into the office and you need to start going through and juggling all of your receipts to try to remember what you did when and what's reimbursable and what's not. Rather than doing that, you can simply pull out your phone right there at the table maybe and say, all right, just have this meal. This is something that can be reimbursed by the office, so let's go ahead and take care of it right now. So I actually like to start with a receipt, and you'll notice that you can upload it from a file if you have a folder locally that you're using to keep track of all those, or you can just take a quick picture. And this integrates with your phone, so I'm going to take a picture of the CDI, my pre-CDI book here. Shows up in the bottom right-hand corner there. So if we open that up, you can actually crop it if you wanted to do that. Say that, you know what, this is pretty close, but we only want this area, so we'll grab that. It kind of formats it a little wonky, but no, this looks great, right? If you want to mess with the color scale a little bit, we can make it black and white, save a little bit of space. There's also a way to compress it. That doesn't look very nice. We'll probably just leave it like this and say okay, and done. And if you compress it, it'll probably show up in that grainy scale, which is fine usually when you're working with receipts if they're black and white, but for the most part, I stick with the original quality, the one that I've already approved. And it looks like it's just working on loading that. So while that loads, we're going to go ahead and start putting in our information. This can be a drop-down, or it can be set to automatically fill out based on who you are. In this case, I'm So let's say I'm working with Dwight Schrute and I'm in sales department. My manager is Michael Scott and I am the assistant to the regional manager. And here's my email. Was there travel? No. And then what was the date incurred? We'll say it was the 2nd of June for the purpose of, it was just supplies. Who's the vendor? I'll say it was Target, the amount of $20. Anyway, so once we're done, we'll go ahead and hit submit, and then that'll create a little task. So the bell in the top right-hand corner will show me all of my active tasks. You can always refresh in case it takes a minute or two, but that'll allow us to go in and then any of our tasks, like expense reimbursements, go in and approve, and you can see all of that will be saved there as well. So once I log in, I'll be able to see all my information.